On today's episode of Phinside The NFL, the day has finally arrived, everyone. The Miami Dolphins have extended Tua Tagovailoa on a 4-year deal, the richest 4-year deal in NFL history. It's worth $212.4 million. We'll break it all down, where Tua ranks in annual average salary, and so much more. Plus, we will go over what happened at training camp today, because there's even more reason for them to get this deal done. Do me the favor, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new. The saga has finally concluded. Hallelujah. Let's get into it.
Loses the football. Touchdown! Got it!
You have got to be kidding me.
Jalen Waddle has a Dolphin touchdown. And he will score!
Field down the near side, that open. Touchdown!
The run from Tua Tagovailoa.
Touchdown!
He's going deep. He's got it over the touchdown again.
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. Let's go! What is good, Finn Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and oh boy, are we ever back for another one. I appreciate all of you for coming through. Man, we are live on YouTube. Y'all are already piling in. Over 300 of you already showing up. Smash that like button on your way in. Quarterback one is locked up and locked in, baby. And beautiful. Right before practice opens up to all of y'all this weekend, and right before your boy comes down from August 5th to 8th. So, man, Tua Tagovailoa, we're going to get into it right away. We're not going to waste much time. We got a lot to talk about with the deal. The Watch Mister says, where are my people at? We right here, baby. Bring it. What? We right here. Says, I'm going to say it again. Where are my people at? Yo, let's go, baby. Man, Tua Tagovailoa is paid, and I gotta say, I mean, the Tua haters are in shambles right now, because not only is this deal done, people, this is the richest 4-year contract in NFL history. There are people on Twitter today saying, oh, Greer doesn't believe Tua's a top 10 quarterback, that's why he's gonna pay her. Brr, 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 brr. Oh boy. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, while other people were dropping videos and going live after practice, there's a reason your boy was waiting. I was giving it till at least 6 o'clock until, I made a move on a video, because around 12:30, word trickled down that Love is basically done and Tua is not too far behind today. And so I would say, go ask Dougley. Go flood Dougley's comments when he drops his video. Go ask him. Tell him, go message him. Say, did Reason text you to wait and hold up on dropping your recap video? Go ask, go check. Your boy told Doug, hey man, I'd wait on your recap video. I'm just letting you know. You know what I mean? Dougley went ahead and dropped it. I'm just saying. So here we are, baby. Here we are. Hey, man. Shout out to Dougley. I warned you, brother. Don't say I didn't. Chris Sims' top collar button just popped off, and it hit Mike Florio in the eye. And Mike Florio has whiplash right now. Franklin Higgs says, Reason, let's go. Joe Levesque, love to see this, and now go get that prize, the Super Bowl. Powerhouse says Tua can finally focus on becoming MVP, and God's Child said, let's go put up a poll up to expose the haters. Man, they are in shambles right now. They are in shambles right now. I love it. So let's get into this. Let's start breaking this down because clearly we got a lot to go over here. So breaking news not too long ago, just under a half hour ago, Tua time extended. The Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa have agreed to a 4-year, $212.4 million extension. Sources told Mike Garofalo and Ian Rappaport. The $53.1 million average on Tagovailoa is the highest on a 4-year extension in NFL history. We ain't playing no games around here, baby. And you're going to ask, where does that put him in terms of annual average? Guess what? He's making more than Justin Herbert and Jared Goff. He is the third highest when it comes to annual average right now. Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, they are tied at $55 million apiece. Tua Tagovailoa is third in the NFL at $53.1 million. Jared Goff is fourth at $53 million. Herbert is fifth at $52.5 million. And Lamar Jackson, he's there at sixth at $52. And Jalen Hurts is seventh at $51 million. Now, see, what people don't realize, too, is we don't know where Loves is going to fall in right around this $53 to $55 million range as well. And then Dak's going to come up. So Tua won't even be in the third slot in terms of highest annual average for 12 months. There's no way. He might not even be, he might not even be in that spot by next week, depending on Love's deal. And if the Dallas Cowboys pivot to Dak Prescott and get something done, because they got a lot of money coming up, CeeDee Lamb wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. So you're talking about 35 plus million. Micah Parsons is up and Dak is up. So, Tua Tagovailoa, he might not even be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL come, 3 months from now. So, now, in terms of, I see the question there, in terms of percentage of salary cap and where this falls, okay? Now, let's get into that right now. So, I'm going to talk about this year, right? And then we'll go over, we'll do it like 3 years down the line. I'll give you I'll give you a guesstimate in terms of percentage, right? So you guys know what the deal is, all right? So, the salary cap right now is about $255.4 million, all right? And where this lines up in terms of salary cap for us right now is it's about 20.8%. All right? It's because it's about 20.79%. So it's just under 21% of the cap. Now, the cap is expected to go up $30 million a year over the next couple of years. Yes, even with the whole TV thing going on too. All right. So let's assume it goes up to 285 next year, right? Let's just assume it goes up to that. All right. So out of 285, if this goes up to 285 million next year, because remember, it's 20.1 million if the deal kicked in today. It does not kick in today, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't kick in till next season. If that cap goes up to 285 million, people, it's about 18.6% of the cap. So the first year this will hit, it'll be, and that's just, they could move around numbers and this could totally change. But at the 53.1 million hit, if the cap goes up as is expected to next year, you should be between 18 to 19%. If it goes up 30 million like it's being projected, it's about 18.6% of the cap. And just to put that into better perspective for you right now, okay, let's say it goes up it's supposed to go up another 30 million each of the next 3 years. All right, so let's say when it gets up to 315 million 2 seasons from now, right? Or when you do the math on that and you get into, when we're getting over a $300 million cap, I mean, you're talking about like 16.9%. If this cap gets up to 315, 60 million over the next 2 years, which is what they're what the numbers are quietly being whispered, you're talking about like 17% of the cap. Because remember, this contract will not kick in until next season. He's still playing on his 5th year right now. So the 5th year is still happening right now. So when this thing kicks in next year, if the cap goes up about 30 million like it's expected to be, it's going to be about 18.5 to 19% of the cap. It won't even be at 20% of the cap. Because you got to think about it. Burrow, if he comes out and has a great season, Mahomes, if he wins again, these guys are going to turn around. They're going to say, yo, I want new money. And then Tua is going to get pushed even further down. Ray says, happy for Tua, well deserved. Does he get that money now or it kicks in next year? He's on his 5th year right now. So you got to remember that. He is on his 5th year right now. All right? So you got to take that into consideration. Now, when we get into the nitty-gritty of the contract, all right, and what, let's start getting into some of the real numbers here, the real numbers that matter. Remember, I told you I heard he wanted 170 to 200 million guaranteed. That was over a 5-year deal. They ended up working out a 4-year deal. All right, and that's why this matters a little bit here, what we're about to get into. So if you have not seen, here is the guaranteed money. Of that 212.4 million, 167 million of that is guaranteed. So let's take, let's take the 100 and let's half of it, right? So let's go halfway between 170 and 185, right? So 185 over 5 years, he was looking, that's about 37 million guaranteed. Now, out of the 167 over 4 years, that's about 41.75 million guaranteed per year. So we are talking about big money. Now, is more information about to come out that kind of shows us, that that's not the real guaranteed number? I don't know. I'm waiting to see what the deal with that is, because we haven't seen what the signing bonus is yet. I haven't seen the signing bonus number being thrown out quite yet. All I'm seeing is the 167 million guaranteed and the annual average. So, man, Tua Tagovailoa, he is rolling in the dough right now. I got to imagine they would have said 167 fully guaranteed if that was the final guaranteed number. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the guaranteed number might be a little bit different. What do I mean by that? Same thing as Trevor Lawrence, 200 million guaranteed, but 142 of it was the real guarantee, right? You gotta think that's what it might be. But 167 million. This is, again, Tua Tagovailoa is now the highest paid player in franchise history, while this is also the richest 4-year deal in NFL history. So, all right, let's get into some articles on this. And here's Barry Jackson. He just dropped something on it. And here we go. Dolphins agreed a 4-year extension with Tua Tagovailoa. Shout out to Rhino. Rhino just gifted 10 memberships to Phinside The NFL. Appreciate all of y'all. So here's SoFlo Soul, Brittany, Kelly, Joe 305, Coke Master D, J Bands, Mr. Success, Denisha, The Watch Mr., Dolphins, X Tua. All of you got benefited with a membership. So shout out to Rhino, the god of the mod squad, for dropping it. He says best Friday ever. Man, it's a good day. It's a beautiful day to be a Dolphins fan, huh? Beautiful day. Let's go. All right, let's go. So the Miami Dolphins have signed quarterback Tua Tagovailoa to the largest contract in franchise history after months of negotiations, which led to Tagovailoa limiting his participation in Miami's offseason program and training camp work until Friday. The Dolphins and the 2024 NFL passing leader have agreed to a 4-year extension reportedly worth $212.4 million, which will make him one of the NFL's highest paid quarterbacks. In terms of new money, the deal averages $53.1 million per season, which would place him behind only Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence among NFL quarterbacks. His agency, Athletes First, has been saying that the deal comes with $167 million in guaranteed money. I want to thank Chris Greer and Brandon Shore for working endlessly on this deal, Tagovailoa said on all his social media accounts. I want to thank Mike McDaniel for believing in me and my other coaches as well. I want to give a big shout out to my teammates for believing in me and supporting me during this process. Tagovailoa, who before the deal was expected to play on a 5th-year option, which was worth $23.1 million, is one of 2 quarterbacks who has delivered back-to-back seasons with 100-plus passer rating in 2022 and 2023. Remember, over the last 2 seasons, everyone, top 4 in passing yards, right? Top 5 in passing touchdowns, top 2 in passer rating, top 4 in yards per game, passing yards per game is Tua Tagovailoa. Just saying. So Tagovailoa led the NFL in passer rating in 2022, a season where concussions kept the former Alabama standout Miami drafted 5th overall in the 2020 draft from participating in 4 regular season games and Miami's loss to the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. In 2023, Tagovailoa led the NFL's top-ranked offense and was the league leader in passing yards, becoming the first Dolphins player to do so since Dan Marino did it in '92. A lot of people will say he has Coach Mike McDaniel calling his plays, or he has XYZ receivers and all these playmakers, but at the end of the day, you still have to get those playmakers the ball. You got to be able to prepare each and every week with the same mindset, knowing that you have crazy defensive ends coming off the edge, trying to take your head off, Tyreek Hill told ESPN in mid-July. There was a lot that goes into it, and for people to sit here and discredit Tua and say he isn't deserving of a contract is wild to me. A lot of guys on the team understand his value and understand we need him. We need his leadership, and we need his mindset. Tagovailoa and his camp were pushing for a multi-year deal that will put him in alongside the draft peers in Burrow, Herbert, and Hurts, pulling in a new deal that averages $50+ million a season in new money. 7 NFL quarterbacks, Lawrence, Burrow, Goff, Mahomes, Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and Hurts, got new deals, and those extensions average $50 million or more, and Tagovailoa's camp were adamant about making him the 8th. But for contextual purposes, only Jackson, Baltimore's 2-time MVP, has a contract that averages more than $50 million a season. The 5-year, $260 million deal he signed last year after playing on his 5th-year option in 2022 will actually pay him $52 million a season. Goff's new 5-year deal, 245-year, $245.6 million deal, averages out to $49.1 a season, and a fully guaranteed 5-year, $229 million contract Deshaun Watson got from Cleveland 2 years ago puts him in 3rd place, averaging about $45.8 million a season. Burrow is in 4th place with a $45.1 million a year average on his 7-year deal with Cincinnati, which is worth $315.8 million. Then there's Kirk Cousins, whose new contract with Atlanta averages $45 million a season, and Lawrence at $44.6 million on his 7-year deal. The exact average of the 5-year contract, which inherits the 5th-year option and its money, won't be fully known until the entire terms of the deal are disclosed. We need Tua to go anywhere that we're trying to go. All of our dreams, goals, and aspirations are relying on Tua, said Teron Armstead, a team captain. The Dolphins know that. The organization knows that. The city, the league, they know it. Goff, who signed a 5-year, $235.6 million deal with the Lions earlier this summer, owns the record for the largest signing bonus given out in the NFL at $73 million. Mahomes has the largest contract ever given out in NFL history after signing a 10-year deal, which has since been reworked, adding 2 more seasons to boost his average salary from 2023 to 2026. Tagovailoa's negotiations, which began in the spring, had not been smooth, and if a deal wasn't agreed to, it was possible he would have continued holding in, which Tagovailoa seemingly put on pause Friday when he participated in all of the practice, including throwing a 70-yard bomb to Tyreek Hill for a touchdown. If Tagovailoa had played on the 5th-year option, the next step for Miami would have been to use a non-exclusive or transition tag to keep Tagovailoa on the team for the 2025 season, and that would have put the team in salary cap hell for another offseason. With Tua's deal done, the Dolphins could potentially turn their attention to signing Hill to an extension, restoring the 5-time All-Pro receiver to his former status as one of the NFL's 3 highest-paid receivers, and locking up Javon Holland past the season, where he'll earn $3.3 million in the final year of his rookie deal. I can finally say it. All the people that tried to tell you he was not a franchise quarterback, all the people who tried to tell you he was a bust, all the people who told you he would never lead the league in passing, all the people who told you he would never see a second contract in Miami, as the conductor of the Tua train in this community on YouTube from 2019. How does that one feel, huh? Woo! Give myself the old Barry Horowitz, because the guy that I was screaming that we needed to draft has signed the richest deal in Dolphins history and the richest 4-year deal in NFL history. It's over. Debate is done. They were wrong. We were right. Do your victory lap in your house, whatever you want to do if you believed in Tua the whole time. We were right the whole way. The whole way. Before we got McDaniel, what were we saying on this channel? He has shown enough on film that if you properly surround him on offense and with a good coaching staff, you might have a franchise quarterback on your hands. Sure enough, what did they go and do? Build an offense around him, get Mike McDaniel. He's been in the MVP conversation in 2 straight years, and the first year he stays fully healthy, he leads the league in passing. We were right, they were wrong. Boom. I love it. I'm here for it. Sit on that and rotate. Oh baby, Tua Tagovailoa. And we got to listen to y'all for another 4 years? Please. These are the same people who told y'all Josh Rosen's quarterback 1. Skylar Thompson's quarterback 1. And the guy who ends up being a franchise quarterback is the one. They were wrong about everyone. They were wrong about him and everyone else they told y'all would replace him. Thank you very much. Nighty-night. Take your L. Can you imagine how much Marino would be worth until yeah, it's true. Remember, he signed that, he would have eclipsed Burrow. He would get the $60 million, Marino, in today's NFL. Marino would get it. Crickets from all the Tua haters. You were right, Reason. Bro. And this is just being modest. I'm right like 90% of the time. Like, that's the reality situation. The small little negative sect of Dolphins fans, they want to listen to the guys who are right maybe 10% of the time. Maybe. And that's even stretching it for them. Let's go. I'm just saying. 4 more years, baby. What are you going to sit back and listen to? Think about it. If this Tua plays out this contract, all right, 50 year and then the 4 years, are we going to sit there and have these people tell us for 9 years that we got the guy where we got the wrong quarterback? There comes a certain point when these people got to concede, because guess what? The organization, they paid him like it was. They wouldn't pay Christian Wilkins like he was a top defensive tackle. They wouldn't pay Robert Hunt like he was a top offensive guard, but they paid Tua like he was a top quarterback in the NFL. I'm just saying. And everyone knows I'm a Robert Hunt fan. Since we drafted him, I was one of his biggest fans in the building. So I'm just saying. Money talks, bullshit walks, baby. Let's go. All right? It's just what it is. Shout out to Taryn. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. my friend. Got to take a victory lap on that one. Listen, here's the fact of the matter. All right. And Tagovailoa, I mean, just how can you not be happy for the kid? Tell me, how can you not be happy for the kid? Like, you know, I want you to think about what we've done with our quarterback and where he's come. You had a guy who had an injury that they said you don't usually see unless people are in car accidents. And this guy has worked himself up to a league leading passer in the NFL, and he's worked himself up. Think about this. And he's worked his way all the way up. All the way up. He has worked his way, you know, and now signing the richest 4-year deal in NFL history. I mean, you know what? Screw who was right or wrong. Salute to you, Tua. Salute to you. You know, there's people in this chat right now and this guy up here who believed in you every step of the way. But for you to actually go out and do that and make it a reality, how many players do we know that have come from those catastrophic injuries? The same thing they're saying about Joe Burrow's wrist, about how early arthritis is probably going to set in because no player has dealt with the injury he had and come back and played. They've never seen this before. Tua Tagovailoa is coming back from an injury that people said would end his career. And now look at where we are. I mean, you got to give just like the person and the athlete. You got to have, I don't know how you can't respect that, man. And he gets better every offseason. He works as he's one of the hardest workers in the room, if not the hardest worker in the room. And that's how he's got to this point. I mean, you just got to give him his props, man. And Mr. Success says that the comeback is always greater than the setback. 110%. 110%, man. We got over 725 of you on YouTube right now. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. I appreciate y'all coming through for this. It's a momentous day. I mean, the richest contract in Miami Dolphins history was just handed out to Tua Tagovailoa. 4 years, $212.4 million, $167 million of that guaranteed. Tua Tagovailoa now has the third highest annual average amongst quarterbacks in the NFL at $53.1 million, only behind Burrow and Lawrence. And when it comes down to it, again, one of the richest quarterback deals handed out because it's the richest quarterback deal over a 4-year span. Man, you know, you're talking about, check this out, players since 2022 with at least 50,000 passing touchdowns, 8,000 passing yards, and 100 passer rating. Tua Tagovailoa. That's it. Only one player. Only one player. Only one player in the NFL over the last 2 years has thrown for more than 50 touchdown passes, more than 8,000 yards, and has 100 passer rating, and that's Tua Tagovailoa. And you want to hear another really nice stat? Tua Tagovailoa threw for 1,199 yards on quick passes, traveling 10-plus air yards last season, and that was more than double any other quarterback. And if you go since 2016, you want to see a crazy stat about Tua Tagovailoa? Check this one out. Y'all will like this. I know y'all will. I know y'all will like this. This is crazy when you break this down. All right? This is nuts. Look at this. Look at this. Quick passes, 10-plus air yards since 2016. Look at this. That is crazy. Tagovailoa was 1,199 passing yards on quick throws of 10-plus air yards in 2023 is more than double any other quarterback over that span. Trevor Lawrence had 524. He's second. But if you were to go the leaders since 2016, Tua owns the top 2 spots. Tua makes the players around him better, and Tua makes the O-line better. And I've already, this is a guy who, there were people in this fan base who wanted to pay Mike Gesicki $10+ million. How's he looked since he left Tua? Lindbaum Jr., there were people on X who were betting me that he'd be better than Albert Wilson Jr. Where's Lindbaum Jr. right now? Malcolm Perry made plays for Tua Tagovailoa. Where's Malcolm Perry now? I mean, Tua Tagovailoa has literally turned chicken SHIT into chicken salad at times here in Miami. And that's why you're seeing Tyreek have better numbers than he had with Mahomes, because Tua was elevating below average guys before Tyreek got here. I'm just saying. Brian says, "My reason my 7-year-old daughter celebrating more than me. Could you shout out to Gianna? We locked up Uno. Gianna, I hope you're having a fantastic Friday like all of us. It's a beautiful day to be a Dolphins fan. Minimum 4 more years of Tua Tagovailoa. The window remains open, because what we're not talking about right now, this is going to create cap space for them. This is going to create $10 to $15 million in cap space for them now. We are able to move around money. Javon Holland is a possibility. Tyreek Hill getting new money is a possibility now. And those conversations are going to start because Tua is handled. The Dolphins checked off their checklist, right? What was the word we heard from Jeff Darlington and everyone? They wanted to get Waddle and Tua done. They've got both done. Terrence says plenty of space to still build the team regardless of what most think. This is team friendly going forward, in my humble opinion. You're right. Let's build out that O-line a little bit more, and we're really ready to roll. Like, this is... Shout out to Dolphin Tina. She's in here too. She says, shout out to Gianna, girl power. Shout out to all of you. Go check out Brittany and Jennifer and Mary on Sideline T. They just dropped the Mina Kimes episode. If you haven't had a chance, go check that out. What I know is this. The window is open, baby. The window is open. It's remaining open. And now we can play around a little bit with some money. Because I'm telling you, I had no interest. I had no interest whatsoever in them having to deal with a transition or a franchise tag or whatever in hard pressed. Go check out Ryder McConville too. All right, go check him out. Does great breakdowns and all 22 stuff on YouTube. So go check him out. Obviously, we are going to hear more of the contract leak over the next, 12 hours for real. We're gonna get more info into this. I can't wait. Man. So I'm waiting for numbers, man. I know like all of you are. We're all waiting for numbers. And this is now the largest contract in Dolphins history, like I said. $212.4 million eclipses Tyreek Hill's $120 million and Ndamukong Suh's $114 million, as well as Bradley Chubb's $110 million and Xavier Howard's $90 million. This is almost double what was the highest contract in Miami Dolphins history. And from what I'm seeing here, Spot Track is saying that the practical guarantee on Tagovailoa's extension comes across the next 3 seasons, and it gives the Dolphins a reasonable out timeline and Tua a very reasonable chance to cash in again before he turns 30 years old. So it sounds like it's a 4-year deal, and the Dolphins have an out built in after 3. So he'll be around 29 if this isn't working out. and they want to get out, he'll be around 29. It's 167 million guaranteed, but we don't know the signing bonus and everything. We also don't know is, okay, Trevor Lawrence got 200 million guaranteed, but it's only 142 of actual guaranteed money, right? So that's what we're trying to see here. We want to see what the signing bonus is. We want to make sure that 167 million is, until I read 167 million fully guaranteed, right? You got to read the wording. All we're reading is 167 million guaranteed. So that's what we don't know the signing bonus yet. But it does sound like there's going to be, an out after 3 years. So 3 years of the four have the guaranteed money spread out over, it sounds like. Tua Tagovailoa about to get paid. Tua Tagovailoa getting paid, baby. Again, only one quarterback over the last 2 years in the NFL has 50 passing touchdowns, 8,000 passing yards, and 100 passer rating. And that's Tua Tagovailoa, baby. And he's locked up. And you want to hear a crazy stat? Between Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and Jalen Hurts, they together have accounted for over $1 billion in quarterback contracts. Think about that. Think about that for a second. We're talking about 2020 is a historical draft class for quarterbacks. Historical. This might go down as the greatest quarterback draft class of all time. Like, we are talking about some special stuff here. Burrow, been to the Super Bowl. Herbert, Rookie of the Year. Hurts, been to the Super Bowl. Tua has led the league in passing yards. They all have accolades. All of them have accolades. The only one who doesn't is really Jordan Love. Winning a playoff game, we're not really, that isn't an accolade, really. You know what I mean? Because it's a team effort to win, but I'm still saying, two of the quarterbacks have been to the Super Bowl. One of them was Rookie of the Year. The other one's led the league in passing. And Jordan Love looks like he's on his way to being a difference maker as well. Crazy. And that draft class has produced the only active quarterback in Joe Burrow in the NFL that has beat Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game because Tom Brady's not active anymore. Did Herbert win a playoff game? Jalen Hurts is the walking embodiment of it's a team effort to win a playoff game and to go to a Super Bowl. Okay? That's exactly what he is. So, man. And we're now that this is done early on in camp, this is not going to hang over us. When y'all show up on Sunday for the first open camp to fans, you guys are going to be in for a treat. And doesn't it feel like a weight has been lifted from your shoulders? Now you can get back to watching Dolphins content at a normal pace. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, I tell you this. 4th in passing yards over the last 2 years. 2nd in yards per attempt. 5th in passing touchdowns. 2nd in passer rating over the last 2 years. 4th in average yards per game. 2022 led the NFL in passer rating. 2023 led the league in passing yards. And in 2023, he became the Miami Dolphins' first Pro Bowl quarterback since starting quarterback since 1995. So we still need to see if the guaranteed money is fully guaranteed at signing. You know, we need to see the signing bonuses. We need to see the roster bonuses, the structure. You know. And it's being reported that it's the 4-year deal, they have an out after year 3. So there's still a lot of details we're waiting to see regarding the contract. That's just a fact right now. Man, we are having a day. Over 750 of you in the live chat on YouTube. We aren't on X today. We are strictly on YouTube for my peeps. And wow. Tua Tagovailoa, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Give myself the old Barry Horowitz. Now let's go win up some playoff games. Let's win some. Not one. Let's win some. I'm watching for my country to stun on y'all. Ja Rastafari, Randy. Bro. Jamaica to stunt on the Americans, not on the Canadians, bro. We down like Charlie Brown. What are you talking about over here, huh? You come out here, man. Some of the best Jamaican spots in North America are up in Toronto. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that. All right? So, man, absolutely huge day. I am so amped for this. So, you know, as we wait for numbers to come in, let's get into this. We got a lot to cover just from training camp alone. I got a couple articles from training camp that I do want to go over. All right. And so this was your first indication. Now, here's the deal for me. Again, I knew at about 12:35. That's why I didn't go live. When everyone was going live about him or dropping videos after he participated in camp, I waited because I was hearing that the deal was going to finalize today. And you can ask Douglas Durong on his either training camp video is up right now or the video he's going to put up on Tua. Leave a comment. Say, did Reason text you and tell you to hold up on your training camp recap video? Because I did. So, all right, because he could have just packed them all into one. So, Tony says he feels like eating some pineapple right now. Go get it, brother. Go get it. Go cut it up and eat. All right? Go cut it up and go eat that pineapple. So, here is day 3 of training camp because Tua, he had quite the day, that's for sure. I mean, he was the talk of the town, basically. So, the Dolphins executed the quarterback contract negotiations fake perfectly on Friday, and it won't work in a game. In 11-11 session, Tua Tagovailoa dropped back to throw, something he hasn't done in 11-11 drills in months, and delivered a 70-yard touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill, who was wide open. The defense clearly didn't expect Tagovailoa to throw. They thought he was just going to hand the ball off. Because of ongoing contract talks, Tagovailoa didn't participate in 11-11 drills in final weeks of the offseason program. During the first training camp practice on Wednesday, he threw in 7-on-7 drills, but took only 2 11-on-11 snaps, both which were handoffs. On Thursday, he didn't participate in any 7-on-7 or 11-11 drills. But on Friday, he was a full practice participant and made several throws in 11-11 drills. Those included a check down to Devon Achane. Earlier in practice, Tagovailoa hit River Craycraft for a 25-yard reception. He also threaded the seam on a 20-yard pass to Hill. The play would have gone longer if the action had been live in 7-and-7 work. One concern on offense, Aaron Brewer has had 2 bad snaps during the first 3 days of camp. Tagovailoa was under center, taking direct snaps on Friday. Jordan Brooks had a sack on Tagovailoa, and Mo Kamara, there you go, the rookie's showing up. Mo Kamara went ahead and sacked Skylar Thompson in one-on-one of the final sessions of 11-on-11 work. The top standout of the offensive line versus defensive line one-on-ones on Friday was Quentin Bell making more noise. He won most of his reps, which explains why he's getting a prominent role on defense. Defensive tackle Isaiah Mack pushed second-round left tackle Patrick Paul out of the way to stop Jalen Wright in the backfield. Don't like that. Paul then committed a false start on his next snap. This is his second day of committing false starts. That's something the Dolphins made an emphasis to clean up last year. Emmanuel Ogbah had a nice tackle at the line of scrimmage, continuing his good work. Later, he flushed Tagovailoa out of the pocket. Grayson Murphy had a sack against Keon Smith. Raheem Mostert did not practice. David Long, on the physically unable to perform list, had a sleeve on his left leg. Tyreek Hill joined practice for 7-on-7s after missing the first 5 periods of practice. And there is a huge difference between how Chop Robinson and the rest of the Miami Dolphins edge rushers move. The second best mover is Bell, who played receiver in college. However, there is some concern about Robinson's run blocking. I think they mean his ability to stop the run, right? During 11-11 drills, tight end Tanner Connor put Robinson on a motor rail block, moving him far out of the way on a left side run. And Connor isn't exactly known for his blocking. See, I told y'all. What did I tell you? Setting the edge is an issue for Robinson. Told all y'all that from the get-go. During one-on-ones, which was the first time Miami did that all week, the defenders held their own with few exceptions. Anthony Schwartz delivered an impressive showcase of his speed in one-on-ones. He roasted former Bills cornerback Siran Neal on a reception. Eric Isakama ran the wrong route for Tagovailoa and then failed to bring in a ball for Mike White on back-to-back reps. When Isakama ran the wrong route, Tagovailoa threw up his arms in confusion. Rookie cornerback Isaiah Johnson jammed new receiver Kyrick McGowan out of bounds, showcasing impressive physicality. Cornerback Nick Needham tipped a Gavin Hardison pass in the air, but Anthony Walker dropped the potential interception. Kendall Fuller had a good day as well. Linebacker Walker wore the yellow jersey given to the standout player in the previous day's practice. Walker missed an hour of practice before returning. With Long on the PUP list, the Dolphins have 6 inside linebackers available: Walker, Jordan Brooks, Duke Riley, Channing Tindall, Cam Brown, Zeke Vandenberg. Former Miami Dolphins inside linebacker Shaq Quarterman will work out for the Dolphins on Friday, and Craycraft caught a touchdown from Thompson at the end of practice, beating Neal, who claimed Craycraft pushed off and the refs did not agree. So, listen, I mean, that was basically why Tua was out there for the full practice today. All right? I mean, the deal was just simply this. Tua, all right, the fact of the matter is this: that's how deal the close was, and that's why Tua was out on the field. All right, that's why he was out on the field, because that deal was that close. All right, so yeah, it sounds like 167 million of this is going to be guaranteed. But yeah, it's listen, I want to shout out Pretty Ricky. He was the first one who even had this on the timeline. All right. And the first one that I saw posted anything on the timeline about this was Pretty Ricky. I want everyone to know that too, because I see people out here trying to take credit on social media. All right. That's just is what it is. It was, shout out to Pretty Ricky. He was been in on this and on top of this from the get-go. So the deal is it was in place. That's why you saw him participate the way he did and the extent he did in practice today. That's just the fact of the matter. That's just the fact of the matter. All right. They were that close. And, let's wait and see the final details of this. I'm really interested to see the roster bonuses and the signing bonus and everything like that. And those will come out over the next 24 hours as everything starts to leak out, for sure. That's when we'll start. I mean, it's a big contract too, right? So, that's just what it is. all the details will start leaking for sure. And I know the Dolphins players are happy because Tyreek Hill tweeted out about it. So that's why you saw him involved today. That's why you saw, and from what I understand, the offense was dominant today when Tua was out there. Tua Tagovailoa making $53.1 million a year when Marino's career earnings were $51 million. Tells you where that position has blown up to, eh? Holy jeez. So this is what the Sun Sentinel said about it. They said for the first time in Miami Dolphins training camp, quarterback Tua Tagovailoa threw a pass in 11-11 team setting at Friday's practice, and the results was glorious. Tagovailoa, after throwing in 7-on-7 drills and then handing off for a few run plays, went play action. The defense wasn't prepared for the possibility of Tagovailoa throwing as he goes through a fluid, as Coach Mike McDaniel called it, contract negotiation that had him sitting out portions of practice on different days. Tyreek Hill was wide open down the left sideline, and Tagovailoa uncorked the deep ball to deliver to him for a touchdown of about 70 yards with no one near Hill. In that first 11-11 period, it was all running plays aside from Tagovailoa's long pass to Hill. The second time the Dolphins starter went out there in the full team setting, he threw some short passes and screens as well. It was a significant step up in practice participation for Tagovailoa. Gotta love it. Some other observations. Tua Tagovailoa had an efficient 7-on-7 period to start Friday drills. The highlight was a deep connection to River Craycraft as he broke free from a bunch set on his side. Running back Devon Achane made an impressive leaping catch over the middle on a slant from out wide, which he said he would do more of back at minicamp in early June. Others than Tagovailoa hit in Others that Tagovailoa hit in sevens included Hill, again, beating Sierra Neal on an in-breaking route downfield, Julian Hill, Braxton Berrios, Alec Ingold, Jalen Wright, and Eric Izakama. Skylar Thompson in the final period of Friday drills went over the top to hit rookie wide receiver Malik Washington for a touchdown, and then wrapped up the practice with a long touchdown to River Craycraft over Sierra Neal. Mike White nearly had a deep completion to Jalen Waddle. Nick Needham was in coverage. Kendall Fuller sniffed out a screen from Tagovailoa to Waddle in 11-11 and was right there to blow it up after the catch without tackling to the ground. There were back-to-back plays where linebacker Jordan Brooks and defensive tackle Calais Campbell pressured the quarterback, and then edge rusher Chop Robinson afterward. Cam Smith had a good pass breakup on a Mike White pass, so there you go. We didn't see that on the Herald update. Cam Smith making plays. In one-on-ones, Jordan Poyer batted down a pair of passes. Jordan Brooks had tight coverage on the speedy A-chain that still resulted in a catch to the sideline. Wright later left Brooks in the dust on an outside move at the line. Elijah Campbell, after an interception Thursday, had a good breakup in a one-on-one. Chris Brooks dropped a pass after winning a rep against Channing Tindall, who later deflected a pass against Jeff Wilson Jr. In lineman one-on-ones, Patrick Paul laid out outside linebacker Cam Brown on a rep. Zach Sealer was seen breezing past Robert Jones. Mario Kendricks won a rep against Chasen Hines. During a special teams period, McDaniel was with Hill and Ramsey behind an end zone, having a conversation to be a fly on the goalpost to listen to what that trio was discussing. New Dolphins inside linebacker Anthony Walker wore the orange jersey Friday as Thursday's practice player of the day. Walker has played an elevated role with David Long starting camp on the PUP list. Nick Needham tipped up a Skylar Thompson pass that Walker nearly intercepted but dropped on a diving attempt. Outside linebacker Grayson Murphy had a pressure that could have gone for a strip sack early on the play. Keon Smith and Cam Brown got tangled up after one physical team rep, but it didn't escalate to the point of a skirmish. Teron Armstead and running back Raheem Mostert were not seen participating in Friday's practice. Stock up. Tagovailoa made his point for contract extension much greater by participating and throwing in several team settings Friday, especially after the offense was stagnant Thursday while Miami's starting quarterback didn't partake. Stock down. Aaron Brewer had multiple botched snap exchanges with Tagovailoa both in the shotgun and under center. He should be a strong fit in McDaniel's system due to his athleticism, but they'll have to gain snapping chemistry. This was also an issue with Miami's previous center, Connor Williams. Oh, here we go again. Man, and the guy they got backing up Jack Driscoll is having snapping issues with the backups that were out there. So what? We don't have a center that can snap the ball consistently? Is that where we're at right now? Is that what we're living? Is that what we're living with? Is that what we're dealing with? I think Connor Williams is going to Seattle. I see the chat. Go get Connor Williams now. I don't think he's coming back. Now, I like seeing Cam Smith out there making plays. Love seeing that, obviously. All right, Devon Achane being used as a receiver like he hinted he would be at. Like I told you they would use him as. Love seeing that as well. Okay? Huge, huge, huge stuff. Massive. Huge. And Tagovailoa had himself a day today. What else can you say? What else can you say? Tua had a day today. And the offense finally dominated a day at camp after the defense winning from the outright start of camp. And then not too long after, Tua rewarded with a 4-year, $212.4 million extension, the richest in franchise history and the richest 4-year deal in NFL history. Man, what a day. What a way to head into the weekend, huh? Everyone getting off work. Everyone already off work. Everyone just living their life. And this deal smacks you in the face. And again, that's why I did not go live after. I had a thumbnail made, but I did not go live after camp because I was told around 12:30 that Tua's deal was getting done today. So I just waited it out. And there's multiple people on Twitter and stuff like that where we knew this was going on. We knew this was going down. So love it. Finzrel says pizza pockets and video games night. Some college football 25, eh? Man, I love it, people. Do me the favor, smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Again, we're still waiting for the guarantees and everything to come out. All right? We're still waiting to find out the structure. All right? His current deal, the annual average is 28.8% of the salary cap currently. But this deal will not kick in till next year. And then if it's at 53.1, that takes up about 18.6 of the cap next year because it's expected to go up to around 280, 285. So you'd be in the 18 to 19% range. Then if it goes up another 30 million that's expected the year after, now we're getting in the 16 to 17% range. So listen, people are going to look at the annual average. They're going to be like, oh, you paying them? No, first of all, that's not the real money. Always look at the real money. All right? And here's the thing is, Jordan Love, I know this deal is pretty much finalized too, but I think you're not going to hear about it. They're going to let Tua have Friday. Because all of a sudden, they got farther along. And, I had the update last week. And what was the update? That I was hearing rumblings that the Dolphins were starting to push negotiations with Tua because they wanted it done by the start of training camp. They got it done like 3 days into training camp. It went from everyone saying no deal is imminent, the Love is further along. I update and tell all y'all, hey, they're making a push. They want to get this done. And now they get it done before Love. But Love is right around the corner. That's just what it is. All right? Shout out to, man. Shout out to them, man. I love it. Man, shout out to the Miami Dolphins for getting it done. Shout out to all of you who are going to be going to you know, shout out to all of you that are going to be heading to camp this weekend. Love it. Y'all are going to get to see that man up there doing his thing. All right. Shout out to all of y'all. Enjoy training camp this weekend because Tua is going to be front and center for all of y'all. All right. Smash that like button. We had over almost 800 people join us today. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Tua Tagovailoa has been extended. As the numbers leak out, we will talk about them. You already know what time it is, baby. Fins up all day, every day. It's a beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Have a fantastic evening.